What if the fastest way to get more energy and mental clarity wasn't another coffee or even a power nap, but something much simpler, something free and always available? Now, I know you're not going to want to hear this. It's water. I know, not very exciting. You've heard this forever. Drink more water. Stay hydrated. But here's the truth. It really matters. Not getting enough water can throw you off your game, steal your energy, fog your focus, and crash your mood. My goal in this episode is simple. I want you to see water not as a chore, but as a faithful companion on your path to mental clarity, emotional balance, and physical vitality. This is a Karen Schaal Podcast. I'm Karen Schaal. Let's get started. Today's podcast is part 2 of our 5-part series on the Big 5 fundamentals, 5 key components essential for a balanced life, all packed into what I call your well-being backpack. If you could imagine carrying a backpack full of simple tools that bring balance, clarity, and resilience, this would be it. Breathing was our first stop, and now we're reaching for hydration, the fuel your body and mind can't live without. Over the next episodes, we'll also unpack sleep, journaling, and nature. Together, these big 5 make up the essentials in your well-being backpack. And please, do like and subscribe. It's a little click that means a lot. Thanks. So let's talk about hydration. Water is not glamorous, but it's absolutely essential. Every system in your body depends on it. Your brain is nearly 3/4 water, your blood is more than 80% water, and even your muscles and joints rely on steady hydration to move and function. When you drink water, you're not just quenching thirst, you're supporting circulation, digestion, temperature regulation, and energy production. Water carries nutrients to your cells and helps remove waste. It cushions your joints, protects your tissues, and even keeps your skin resilient. And yet, most of us don't think about it until we feel thirsty or sluggish, which often means we're already behind. The truth is, hydration is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to care for your body. Something so basic can keep your mind sharp, your body balanced, and have you moving forward with strength. But here's the problem. In our Western lifestyle, the body's natural messages about hydration often get scrambled before they ever reach the brain. The hypothalamus, a small region in the brain, is a control center that regulates a range of things, including hunger, thirst, sleep, and temperature. But these signals from the hypothalamus to eat and drink can be sometimes confusing. That's why we often think we're hungry, when in reality we're thirsty. Modern diets only make this worse. A diet high in sugar and processed fat can dull the body's sensitivity to thirst, what scientists call interoception, which is basically a weakening of our ability to sense what our body truly needs. Instead of recognizing dehydration, we grab a snack, another cup of coffee, or we just keep pushing through fatigue, unaware that water is what our body is actually asking for. You probably live this in real life, that mid-afternoon crash when you go hunting for food, when in reality what your body may have wanted was a tall glass of water. The long road trip where you skip drinking only to arrive exhausted and cranky. Or the child at soccer practice who overheats and gets fatigued, who is energized after refueling with water. Athletes are really dialed into the importance of hydration. In fact, many follow specific hydration protocols, drinking water before, during, and after workouts to keep their bodies performing at peak levels. My grandson is in track and field, and he'll tell you straight up, if he's not fully hydrated, he can't perform at his best. His legs feel heavier, his energy fades, and his times are slower. I felt the impact myself in a dramatic way. When I was pregnant, I became so dehydrated I couldn't even walk. I had to be carried into the car and rushed to the hospital. Within an hour of receiving IV fluids, basically just water delivered into my veins, I felt like a completely different person. One moment I couldn't stand, and the next, it was as if nothing had happened. That showed me more than anything else just how vital water really is. I've also seen this in my family. My mother lost her ability to sense thirst. She had to be monitored constantly because if her fluids weren't balanced, the first thing we noticed was her mental state. Confusion, fog, lack of clarity. Soon after came physical weakness. For her, water wasn't optional, it was critical. And while most of us may not experience dehydration at this extreme level, the signs are actually everywhere once you start paying attention. That afternoon slump that leaves you reaching for coffee, often that's dehydration. The headache that sneaks in after hours at your desk, many times a glass of water can ease it faster than a pill. The irritability you feel late in the day, the fog that makes it harder to think, even the sudden fatigue after being out in the heat, these are all signals, all hints that you need more water. So let's pause for a moment. I want you to think about the times dehydration may have snuck up on you. Have you ever had a salty meal and an hour later felt so thirsty you couldn't get enough to drink? That happens to me all the time when I eat fast food. Or in the middle of the afternoon you snack, thinking it will give you some energy, when in reality, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. The truth is most of us don't recognize dehydration for what it is. We just feel the symptoms, foggy thinking, low energy, irritability, or that feeling of sluggishness. Now, of course, it may not always be dehydration, but based on my experience and what science is saying most of the time, it probably is some level of dehydration. So let's get into the science, because if you haven't yet realized how valuable hydration is, this part is going to wow you. Here's the big picture now. Every single cell in your body depends on water. Without it, you can't survive more than a few days. Survival, healthy survival, and thriving all depend on steady hydration. Studies show that even a 1 to 2% drop in hydration levels can affect mood, memory, and focus. And here's what that really means. If you weigh around 150 pounds, a 1% drop is less than 2 pounds of water. That's about 1 to 2 glasses you didn't drink. At that point, your brain already starts to slow. Reaction time dips, concentration weakens, and short-term memory slips. For athletes or anyone exerting themselves, the losses can climb to 3 to 4%. That's roughly 3 to 5 glasses short. Now muscles cramp, coordination falters, endurance drops, and even judgment is affected. At 5% dehydration, about 6 to 7 glasses down, your body is under real strain. Blood volume decreases. The heart works harder, and overheating becomes a risk. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises, leaving you edgy or irritable. Push further, and immune defenses weaken, making it harder for your body to fight off illness. The good news? In most cases, you're only a couple of glasses of water away from resetting your system, restoring sharper thinking, smoother movement, steadier mood, and healthier energy. So what happens when your fluid levels are steady and balanced? When you're hydrated, your brain works at full power. Since it's about 75% water, brain cells rely on that fluid to fire signals quickly. Hydration keeps those electrical signals sharp, which means faster reaction time, clearer memory, and stronger problem solving. Even mild dehydration slows this down. Your brain is literally running on low power. Your muscles and joints also perform better when hydrated. Water delivers oxygen and nutrients into muscle cells and flushes out waste products like lactic acid. Without enough fluid, muscles tighten and cramp more easily, and endurance fades faster. Joints use water to stay cushioned, so hydration can mean the difference between smooth, flexible movement and painful stiffness. Hydration also steadies your emotions. When fluid levels drop, Your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone. That extra cortisol leaves you edgy or irritable. Balanced hydration keeps stress signals calmer, helping you feel more even, more resilient, and better equipped to handle pressure. Hydration powers your whole body. It regulates temperature by fueling sweat to cool you down. It supports digestion and nutrient absorption. It keeps blood pressure stable so your heart doesn't have to overwork. And it fuels your kidneys to filter waste. When hydration is steady, everything runs smoother, from your skin looking fresher to your immune system staying stronger. In short, hydration doesn't just prevent problems, it fuels the systems that keep your body strong, your mood balanced, and your mind sharp. A lot of this comes down to setting yourself up for success. And if you've been resistant to drinking more water, or even changing your mindset about water, this part is for you. I'll share something personal. For years now, I've had a practice that makes hydration more enjoyable. I drink out of a special glass that has a little ball at the bottom. It's beautiful, it feels good in my hand, and drinking from it gives me a sense of pleasure, almost like a sensory moment. But that small detail invites me to drink, and it reminds me that water doesn't have to be boring. It can be something you look forward to. So let's get practical. How do we make hydration a natural part of daily life? First, start your day with water. Your body goes 6 to 8 hours overnight without fluid. One of the best things you can do for energy is to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. Think of it as waking up your cells before you wake up your mind. Second, carry a water bottle. It sounds obvious, but visibility matters. When water is in sight, you're far more likely to drink it. Behavioral science even has a name for that. It's called cue design. It means making the healthy choices the easy choice. Third, anchor hydration to your routines. If you have a habit, stick hydration to it. Drink a glass of water after brushing your teeth. Have a sip before every meal. Take a drink every time you return to your desk. Anchors like these make hydration automatic. Fourth, pay attention to color and energy. Your body gives you feedback. If you're tired, cranky, or your urine is dark yellow, it's time for water. No app needed, just awareness. And fifth, make hydration enjoyable. If plain water bores you, dress it up. Add lemon, cucumber, or berries. Herbal teas count. Sparkling water counts. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is steady hydration. To be honest with you, I struggle with staying hydrated myself. I'm just not naturally in tune with my thirst, and constantly reminding myself to drink feels like a hassle. That's why I've had to get creative. I use my special glass with a little ball at the bottom because it makes the moment of drinking water feel more pleasant, even a little special. And I just purchased a new water bottle that has a sprayer attached to it. So when I drink, I can also spray it into my face. I know it sounds funny, but it makes me smile, and it makes water more appealing to me. The point is, just because something doesn't come easy doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. Sometimes making it fun, even playful, is what helps a habit stick. So here's my challenge for you. Pick just one of these practices and start today. Maybe it's that first glass of water in the morning. Maybe it's carrying a bottle with you. Maybe it's making hydration more enjoyable with lemon or berries. Small steps add up. And if you know someone who could benefit from better hydration, please share this episode with them. If this message has resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Next time, we'll move on to our third fundamental in the well-being backpack, and that is sleep. And trust me, you'll want to hear why sleep isn't just rest, but one of the most powerful reset buttons your body and mind have. This is Karen Schaal with the Karen Schaal Podcast. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.